Idiomatic expressions with prepositions. Verbs often combined with the prepositions. These combinations are called phrasal verbs. Phrasal verb के बारे में I must have given a little explanation before, but we'll cover that topic inshallah. तो चलें phrasal verb का फिर मैं repeat कर देता हूँ if you are unaware about it. Phrasal verbs actually are formed with the help of preposition and verbs. जो root words होते हैं उनके साथ they are formed. So they are taken they are added with the prepositions, but they give a separate meaning. Like एक word carry है और दूसरा on है. Carry means कुछ उठाना, साथ लेना. Carry on की meaning है continue. Carry out means implement. तो इस तरीके से phrasal verbs give a different meaning. So there is they do not have like means prefix something. No, they have like they have proper use and appropriateness with the situations. Okay. These are numerous phrasal verbs in English, and they cause a great deal of the difficulty for ESL students. It is nearly impossible for a non-native speaker to learn all of these idiomatic expressions. Still, you must familiar with the most important ones. अब ये जो notes हैं, वो discussion-based notes हैं for the readers. So that is why they are written on the basis of error corrections, and they are giving each detail. These are very useful ones. Interestingly, sometimes the same verb takes a different preposition with a different objects. सही बात है. The meaning of all these expressions are usually the same. अब चलें देखते हैं phrasal verbs के अंदर. Examples are given like एक word है agree on, जैसे मैंने carry का example दिया. यहाँ पे agree है, agree on, agree about, agree with. Agree with a person or policy or opinion. I entirely agree with your opinion. I don't agree with you. Agree about a subject of discussion. Okay, we never agree about anything. Subject of discussions इसकी meaning होगी. Then agree on a price, a matter of discussion. किसी भी चीज को cover करना. We could not agree on a price. ठीक है, यहाँ we could not agree on the previous sale, the previous deal. Agree to a suggestion or a proposal. She did not agree to my proposal. आगे words हैं angry about and angry with. We are angry with the people and angry about the things. The preposition it is sometimes used with the people and the things. She was angry with me for reading her letters, or she was angry at me for reading her letters. Okay, my parents were angry about my dismissal performance, or my parents were angry at my dismissal performance. मतलब खराब और बेकार performance पे they were angry. They argue about and argue with. We argue about the matter. After his death, his children argued about his property. They argued about his affair, not they argued with his affair. We can argue with a person. एक इंसान के साथ argue हो सकता है. I don't want to argue with you. बहसबाजी जिसे हम कहते हैं. He argued with his wife, not he argued about his wife. We can also argue for or against a preposition. They argued against increasing the legal drinking age. मतलब जो बेवड़े हैं, they argued about कि legal age जो है drinking की 20 years से commonly around the globe. In few countries it is 22 or 25. तो उस पे argue किया कि नहीं होनी चाहिए. Compare to and compare with, इसमें देखते हैं कौन सा फर्क है. To show likeness, compare is usually used with to. Okay, life is often compared to a dream. She likes to compare herself to her mother. My mother always compared me to my brother. To show difference, compare is usually used with. जब भी कोई फर्क हमें देखना हो तो फिर हम word with use करते हैं, preposition with use करते हैं with compare. We cannot compare dogs with cats. There are far more differences between them than there are the similarities. My mother was never satisfied with my academic performance. She always compared me with my brother who used to get better grades. बवास ना करना दो चीजों का, दो इंसानों का. As a general rule, use compare with when differences are more important than the similarities. दूसरा एक जनरल इसमें रूल है कि compared with हम तब यूज करेंगे जब हम difference पे ज़्यादा focus करें is compared to similarities. We use comparative when similarities are more important. Of course, these differences are not very important. जहाँ पे similarities important हो वहाँ पे compared to he is better is compared to his brother. So we are referring to the qualities and similarities. मतलब similarity of getting good grades among all of the clan or the class. Okay. These are several other idiomatic expressions that are often confused. Correspondent to correspond to correspondent with. To correspond to something is to match up with something. This pen does not correspond to the receptacle it is supposed to fit in. To correspond with somebody is to write letters back and forth. दूसरी मीनिंग है करस्पॉन्डिंग की, जैसे लेटर्स रिसीव करना, भेजना, ऑफिशियल कम्युनिकेशन करना, formal communication system रखना. जैसे for example, if you're writing letter to any university, to any institution, so somebody used to be there, somebody must be there जो आपके letters receive करे, फिर respond करे, या फिर official communication को हम कहते हैं correspondence और correspond with, it's a verb here. If you think you should correspond with the manager about this, कम्युनिकेशन करेंगे, ऑफिशियली इन्फॉर्म करेंगे, एड्रेस करेंगे, या फिर ईमेल कम्युनिकेशन को भी हम correspond कहते हैं. So it is the difference. Correspond to and correspond with. Okay, differ from and differ with. You can differ with a person. एक आदमी के साथ कर सकते हैं differ with, जैसे a position of opinion. Things can differ from totally different things. Her mother differed with her over her decision to split with a boyfriend. Okay, I beg to differ with you. Differ with मतलब है कि उनकी जो माँ थी उनका एक different opinion था, so she was having a different opinion than her. Matter कौन सा था? Split with a boyfriend. I beg to differ with you. Our products differ from theirs because they are more intuitive. The tablets differ from laptops in many ways. First, they do not have a physical keyboard, और second जो भी उसमें है, so ये है differ from, differ with, disagreement करना, कोई भी means difference of the opinion, और उसमें we compare the things. Exchange with and exchange for. We exchange something for something, मतलब कोई भी चीज जो है वो उसके बदले में लेना. I would like to exchange my car for a faster one. Simple example, he exchanged dollars for euros. ठीक है, exchange pleasantries with her. Exchange with and exchange for. Pleasantries word का मकसद है having a very useful conversation or means full of emotions or having a enjoyable conversation. So I exchange pleasantries with her. इसका मतलब ये है कि means there is no criterion for changing something. अब जहाँ पे exchange forward है means एक चीज के बदले दूसरी चीज of having of same kind. लेकिन exchange with में ये शर्त नहीं है. This is not condition there. ठीक है? So this is difference. Prepositions, some problems areas. Preposition is a word used to describe the relationship between the other words in a sentence. Prepositions are almost always combined with other words in grammars. These structures are called prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases वैसे ये part है for language students. So it is not commonly used for like the non-language students हैं, उनके लिए grammar में ये prepositional phrase, noun phrase, ये सारी चीजें use नहीं होती हैं. लेकिन for language students it is used क्योंकि syntax के अंदर when we read text, when we investigate text, तो वहाँ पे phrases बहुत important होते हैं क्योंकि there we come to know कि किस चीज पे ज्यादा focus किया गया है and then what part of the speech is more important, जो एक आम आदमी by reading or listening समझ नहीं सकता. Okay, चले. Let's find out what it is. A prepositional phrase consists of a preposition followed by an article or another determiner, an adjective or two, followed by a pronoun or noun. Here the adjective modifies the noun or a pronoun which acts as the object of the preposition. A prepositional phrase acts is an adjective or an adverb. Okay, ending sentence with a preposition. चले इसको एडवांस ग्रामर के ज़मरे में कभी डिटेल में if you need it in any of your examination तो उसको हम वहाँ पे कवर करेंगे. Mostly preposition phrases या फिर noun phrases पूछे ही तब जाते हैं जब आपकी अपनी फील्ड की कोई टेस्ट हो. Okay. Ending a sentence with a preposition. You may have heard that ending a sentence with a preposition is serious breach of the grammatical rules. हाँ, Italian language से इसको लिया गया है इस रूल को क्योंकि Italian में ending a sentence in a preposition was considered a foul in a language. So तभी it was also adopted in English. Well, not really. Of course, you're not supposed to end every of your sentence with a preposition, but sometimes ending a sentence with a preposition is better than moving it to the other location. अब देखिए speech के अंदर हम end कर सकते हैं preposition क्योंकि speech के अंदर we have provided references. Like अगर speech के अंदर मैं कोई भी बात कर रहा हूँ तो if I'm ending any sentence with preposition तो वो refer back करेगा मेरी previous talk से. लेकिन when I'm writing something तो वहाँ पे clarification के लिए academic writing के अंदर ये suggest किया जाता है कि आप कोई भी sentence preposition पे end ना करें क्योंकि उसका reference फिर इतना clear नहीं होगा. Okay, let's find out the sentences. Consider two examples given below. The professor asked the students to indicate the reference book they are quoting from. The sentence ends in a preposition. The professor asked the students to indicate from which reference book they are quoting. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये used है and then we have preposition used in the middle of the sentence. As you can see, sentence 2 is not much better than the sentence 1, although it does not end in a preposition. तो यहाँ पे expression की बात करा है कि कुछ ऐसे sentences हैं जहाँ पे we need to take care of the proper expressions. अगर proper expressions हो जाते हैं तो फिर best है. Sometimes अगर preposition आप end preposition से sentence end नहीं करते हैं तो expression will not be clear. Okay. The prepositions in, it, and on can also indicate position. Here is a list of the common word combinations with these words. In the bed, in the bedroom, in the car, in the class, in the library, in school. At class, at home, at library, at office, at school, or at work. Okay, on the bed, on the ceiling, on the floor, on the horse, on the plane, on the donkey, on the train. As you can see, with some of these locations, different prepositions are possible. No prepositions are used with the following expressions. In words के साथ preposition used नहीं होंगे. Down, downtown, downtown कहते हैं हम center of the city को, हाँ जहाँ पे markets मौजूद हो. Downstairs नीचे, outside बाहर, inside, upstairs, uptown, uptown, downtown, uptown. I think in the outskirts of the city. Difference between is and like. These two words are often confused. Use like to state that something is very similar to another. Like is a preposition and should be followed by a noun or pronoun. She is like her mother. They are very similar. She plays a piano like her sister. Is used to describe the function of a person or object. He works as a bartender. Bartender कहते हैं साकी. Okay. Examples are given. My sister is just like my mother, but I'm more like my father. Don't use your nail as a screwdriver. He is just like his brother. They are both crazy about soccer. Soccer कहते हैं football को. Is can also be used as a conjunction in the case it is followed by a class or a prepositional phrase. Is the conjunction is shows similarity. Nobody loves her as I do. The same idea can be expressed using like. Nobody loves her like me. Note that here the preposition like is followed by the object pronoun me. In August as in July, the weather is very hot. Here the conjunction is followed by the preposition phrase in July. Right. In very informal style, like is often used as a conjunction. This is very common in American English. However, this is not considered correct. Nobody loves her like I do. It's very strange sentence. Prepositions before that class. That class मैंने explain किया था कि that class हम किस चीज को कहते हैं where we need explanations or we need answers for a certain case. Prepositions cannot normally be followed by conjunctions, of course. This is possible in few cases, but prepositions are normally dropped before that clauses. This usually happens after the words referring to saying, writing, or thinking. Compare, I knew about his illness. Here the preposition about is followed by a noun. I knew that he was ill, not I knew about that he was ill. I heard about his problems. I heard that he was facing some problems. I had no idea of his state of mind. I had no idea that he was depressed. I was not aware of his presence in the room. Here, preposition of is followed by the noun of his presence. Good one. I was not aware that he was present in the room. Not I was not aware of that he, and then the sentence. In case where the preposition cannot be dropped before that, we add phrase the fact. Know this rule in the cases where the preposition cannot be dropped before. वो cases जहां पे जो है वो date class या date से पहले preposition ना रखी जा सके, वहां पे हम the fact word use करते हैं. I managed to arrive in time for the meeting, and in spite the fact that the train was late. अब ये सेंटेंस ऐसे नहीं होगा. Not I managed to arrive in time for meeting, and in spite of that I managed to arrive in time in spite of that. ठीक है. तो डेट क्लास से पहले अगर कोई भी प्रोपोजिशन हम ड्रॉप या फिक्स ना कर सकें तो वहां पे हम द फैक्ट वर्ड यूज करेंगे. Okay. She paid no attention to the fact that I had necessary qualifications. Not she paid no attention that I had necessary qualifications. They went out despite the fact that it was raining. Not they went out despite that it was raining. Okay.